Akwa Ibom State Government hosts retired Police Commissioner Gabriel Achong to state banquets. Elders and political stakeholders charged to desist from frustrating government genuine development initiatives. Nigerian Christian Bible College, Upumaba, holds 62nd matriculation and award-giving ceremony. Details of these and other stories in just a moment. Good morning and welcome to EKBC 45 News. I am Jeffrey Orok. The state government Saturday night rolled out the drums at a farewell banquet to honor the retiring Police Commissioner Mr. Gabriel Achong. Colonel Elizabeth Fretty reports that it was a night of encomiums for the Achong who had spent more than half of his years of his service as a police officer in the States.
Government's way of appreciating Mr. Achong, who just retired as the Commissioner of Police for his selfless service to the state and its people. Governor Dumi Manuel said the package was the only way to say thank you to Mr. Achong for staking his life and the pleasure of being with his family to ensure that there was peace in the state. Mr. Dumi Manuel, who had judged Mr. Achong a success in his career as a police officer, said the state was happy to celebrate him, stressing that the state will do same to any officer to reciprocate selfless service offered to the state. Noting that Mr. Achong had spent greater days of his adult life serving the state, the governor assured him of a place as a son of the state, even as he commended his wife for the support to her husband, which he observed made Mr. Achong a success. Mr. Dumi Manuel congratulated him on his retirement and wished him happy retirement life.
The only way we can tell the whole world that we love you, the only way we can tell the whole world that you serve us well, is for us to come here and openly declare our love for you. And that even though you're retired and you're not tired, our problem shall never remain your home. And I was also very well from my journey, who said the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Our brother, I think that best fits you. You were completely lost in this police service. You have to sacrifice the whole lot for the service of the private. We thank you.
Setting the tone for the night, the Secretary to the State Government, Mr. Itakamba Omoren, said it was an event conceived by Governor Dumi Manuel to say thank you to Mr. Achong. Mr. Omoren, who described Mr. Achong as an Akwa Ibom son, said the phrase, "police is your friend," truly found fulfillment in Mr. Achong, who had proven himself to be more than a friend in his service to the people.
The retired Commissioner of Police is a friend of the city, is a brother of the city, is a son, and what they need to wonder is Commissioner Achong actually from Accredited from Constituency. Given my position, Your Excellency, Gabriel Achong is an appointment.
Encomium on Mr. Gabriel Achong also came from Senator Effiong Bob, who described him as a very honest and diligent officer who brought the crime rate in the state to its lowest ebb. The PDP State Chairman Obong Polepo, who described him as a superlative officer and a committed policeman that exhibited professionalism in all his services, while the Assistant Inspector General of Police, Zone 2 Lagos, Mr. Mbumbu, confessed that it was the first time in his life as a policeman to see an officer so sent off by a state. The retired Commissioner of Police, Mr. Gabriel Achong, whose 35 years of service ended July 31st this year, said he was thankful to Governor Dumi Manuel and the state for the package, though he never expected it. Mr. Achong, who attributed his success in checkmating crime in the state to the cooperation of the people, called for extension of such support to the governor and the new Commissioner of Police to be posted to the state. He advocated the establishment of vigilante groups in the rural areas of the state, saying such was necessary to make the state crime-free. Mr. Achong appealed to junior officers in uniform to be sincere in their services for greater reward than compromise.
Thank you, Jesus. May the Almighty continue rewarding you, making you take the right decision and the right action, because you are the destiny of our Christ.
The night featured a dinner, farewell dance, entertainment by a community theatre troupe, a saxophone section featuring the 11-year-old David Eka, a valedictory song by the police chaplaincy choir led by Mrs. Eno Favor Akpan, and a surprise that said Mr. Achong dancing to drummings by his Mube Village Ube Emwe cultural troupe. Colonel Edem Efreti reporting.
What a beautiful dance step by the retiring police commissioner. Elders, stakeholders and interest groups in the state have been charged to desist from involvement in acts capable of frustrating the present administration's development initiative for the state. Governor Dom Emmanuel made the appeal during this month's edition of the Government House prayer meeting held at the State Later House Chapel, Uyu. Colonel Edem Efreti reports that the meeting was attended by members of the State Executive Council and members of the Government House Prayer Committee, among others. The report is here presented in our studio.
Governor Dom Emmanuel, who said actions of individuals and groups in the state can either promote or mar the genuine development plans of his administration, urged opinion leaders, elders, stakeholders, and community leaders to shun acts that could militate against such plans. Mr. Dom Emmanuel, who cited the visitation of some elders in the state to the presidency to press on the president to forego government's proposed plan to make the Maritime Academy Oron a university, described such as selfish and unprogressive, reiterating his resolve and that of his administration to remain focused on the industrialization of the state as the state's cardinal program. The governor called on all indigenes of the state to close ranks and join hands to ensure the realization of his plans to make the state an industrial hub in the Gulf of Guinea. He prayed God to clear the state and its citizens of all hindrances, militating against desired progresses, even as he commended the Government House prayer team for its commitment to intercede for the state.
Let's also talk to some of our elders. There's a limit to which we can play politics. When you try to hurt even the children yet unborn, that's not politics. I felt so grieved in my heart. I said, but I'm not deterred. I want to tell you, whether we like it or not, this land must receive development.
In her sermon, the Reverend Angela Ashong said victory was sure for all who hope in Christ for all their undertakings. The Reverend Ashong, who preached on the theme, "You will lose nothing," said believers are set apart by God to be victorious even against all odds. Reflecting on the text from the book of John, chapter 6, verse 39, she said God's assurance to protect and preserve his children was ever present, and called on all to tap into the promise by holding on to Christ and being steadfast in prayers.
What do you say about Bible? I see a Bible playing with milk and honey. I see a Bible whose souls will be liberated, entrepreneurs, educated, where people will eat bread without scarceness, where the poor will have a reason to go out and pick for something and be established, where people will have skill development, where industries will be established, where people will come from far and these skyscrapers and ministries will blossom left and right. That is the Bible I see.
Prayers were offered for the government, the state and its people at the event, which witnessed donation for the welfare of the inmates of the World Life Center, Ikorofanga in Uruona. The Government House Choir lifted the participant spirit at the prayer session.
We thank you on behalf of our government. We bring their ideas before you, that their thoughts will come from you. Their ideas will be born of God. Their steps will be ordered by you.
Farmers in the state have been assured of government's commitment to building their capacity and to partner them through cooperative organizations to increase productivity and ensure food sufficiency. The Commissioner for Agriculture and Natural Resources, Dr. Matthew Ekaite, gave the assurance when the Forum of Local Government Supervisors for Agriculture paid him a courtesy visit in New York. Dr. Ekaite argued that strengthening the capacity of farmers through cooperative will have multiple effects on the development of agriculture and fast-track the process of transforming the sector into a commercial productive venture. The Commissioner also charged members of the forum to brace up for the challenges ahead to be able to meet the expectations of the farmers in line with government's agricultural policies. Dr. Kaita assured that the ministry will work with the supervisors in their determination to accord due recognition to agriculture.
Knowledge that makes you move towards that frontier, and the lack of knowledge that makes you operate below the frontier. So a farmer should know when he's making profit, how to make the profit. Should also be able to predict when to begin to plant. If you are into poultry farming, you can time your production so that apple will be ready during Christmas season or Easter period.
The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Dr. Ekong Effiong, stressed the need for the forum to educate farmers and the need to embrace second season planting. Earlier, the interim president of the Forum of Local Government Supervisors for Agriculture, Mr. Kufre Obud, while congratulating the Commissioner in his appointment, expressed a hope that the Commissioner will bring his experience to bear on his job to take agriculture to the next level.
What you have to address yourselves is, and in this case, you need to go into the hinterland and sensitize people to the development of the second season planting. That's one area that they are lacking.
This is AKBC 45 News. More news after the break.
For the best of entertainment, incisive news, captivating and illuminating programs, the latest in politics, in-depth analysis of events, sports, and much more. Keep watching AKBC Channel 45.
Welcome back. The following about the state government to alleviate the sufferings of those affected by flood earlier this year. The state government has approved the payment of 50,000 naira each to food for flood victims in Uyo and local government areas in the first batch. This follows the on-the-spot visit by the Deputy Governor, Mr. Mozepu, to flood victims in Eket, whose houses, shops, and personal belongings were affected. The statement from the office of the Deputy Governor, signed by the Permanent Secretary, Lady Silva Eko, says payment will commence today, 17 August 2015, at the Akpana Semen Hall, Government House, by 9 o'clock in the morning, and will last for 1 week. The statement emphasized that only victims who have been served with formal invitation letters from the office of the Deputy Governor are expected to turn up for the exercise. Accordingly, those invited are expected to come with letters of introduction and recommendation from their local government chairman with one of the following names of identification: national identity, driver's license, international passport, a voter's card. Payment, the statement noted, will not be by proxy, as all uninvited persons are expected to be physically present. NICLAC Mega Concept Limited, manufacturers of NICLAC superior paint, has expanded, opened a window. It is located at number 1 in Nenafawa Street of Ikerekpene Road in the capital city. According to Olubayo Akindele, the warehouse was inaugurated by the chairman of the Akwa Ibom Investment Corporation.
The warehouse is a storage building located opposite LG's office near Golo Jonathan's flyover and has a ground floor that can accommodate as much as a truckload of paints of different sizes. It has in stock paints of different colors and properly illuminated, giving first-time visitors reasons to always visit. The products were properly stacked in 25-liter and 4-liter buckets and cans. There are also cartons of synthetic car paints in limitless color range and texture. Inaugurating the warehouse, the chairman of Akwa Ibom State Investment Corporation, AKICOP, Dr. Elijah Akpan, said, NICLAC Mega Concept Limited has recorded another milestone through NICLAC Superior Paints. The warehouse, he said, is a bridge between the factory plant and customers. The chairman, who was represented by the Director of Operations, Akwa Ibom State Investment Corporation, Pastor Imoabazi Jacob, said, commissioning of the warehouse is a positive response to the vision of Governor Udom Emmanuel to industrialize the state, noting that the government alone cannot develop the state.
The event of today has convinced us that Akwa Ibom State is ready for His Excellency Governor Udom Emmanuel's promise to industrialize the state.
The managing director of the company, Elder Emmanuel Ekanem, said, NICLAC Paints is a household name in paint production in the state, adding that the construction of the warehouse in Uyo is to bring the products to the doorsteps of users. The absence of quality paints in the state, he said, informed the manufacturing of NICLAC Superior Paints, stressing that the warehouse facility is large enough to accommodate the need for customers and appreciated Akwa Ibom State Investment Corporation for its professional advice.
We will bring the products just to the doorstep of our users. These painters seated here, the dealers, they are our partners.
The production manager, Mr. Ubukudom Umo, and technical consultant to the company, Mr. Victor Akman, took turns to educate dealers, painters, welders, and the general public on the need to patronize NICLAC Paints, which they describe as second to none.
A quality paint, you have to use quality raw materials. I'm sure my co-producer will agree with me. Don't just use any material at all.
So, surface preparation is very, very important in painting. I have seen a situation, a painter start painting that kind of material that is rusted already without proper sanding of the metal. Irrespective of the quality of paint, if the surface preparation is not effective, you cannot get the best results.
Some customers of the company gave their impression.
Say that let them not change, let them just carry on with the quality of their product, and I believe as time goes on, the paint will enter in the market very well.
NICLAC paint is a very nice paint. It's the paint I can tell people much about.
Olubayo Akindele reporting.
The Nigerian Christian Bible College, Upomabak, has held its 62nd matriculation and award-giving ceremony. Alleged that reports that the 4-day event also featured lectures. The report is here presented in our studio.
The graduating students into the college auditorium alongside matriculating students of the 2014-2015 academic session. They were followed by academic staff, the college provost, as well as the representative of the President, African School Foundation, Cliff Jarrell. The atmosphere within the school premises was that of excitement, as the students generally interacted with parents and loved ones who converged there to celebrate with the 20 graduates of the college, as well as the matriculating students. In his convocation address, the guest speaker, Dr. Anifio Udodo of the University of Port Harcourt, condemned what he called the corrupt state of the present society and called for a reversal of the trend. While describing educators as builders of the nation, Dr. Udodo appealed for the upgrading of the college to a university. Dr. Udodo also condemned the negative attitude of some ministers of God, describing them as corrupt. He advised the graduates to have the fear of God in the course of discharging their duties.
Mass education is a very prominent function, and improper education or wrong channeling of education can cost the society its future. Every society in every era needs its own education system, and each system of education is determined by the needs of such society.
The graduates were presented to the college provost, Mr. Ekpedeme Patrick, by the Director of Academics in the college, Mr. Joe Obinna, for the award of diplomas in theology. Prizes and other awards were presented by the college, as well as other Christian higher institutions, to the overall best graduating students, Godwin Atu, and the female best graduate, Catherine Ezioku. Awards of excellence in areas such as leadership, sanitation, and evangelism were presented to some of the graduates, including Jackson Aniefon and Obot Emmanuel. The valedictory speech was delivered by the best graduating student, Godwin Atu.
Distinguished college, on whom stubbornness and competitive academic struggle stimulated me to do things a little above average.
22 students were also matriculated into the 3-year diploma in theology program of the institution.
On my honor, promise to be a loyal and contributing member of the Nigerian Christian Bible College, to abide by the rules and regulations, guiding students' conduct and discipline in the Nigerian Christian Bible College.
High points of the event was a presentation of the NCBC Positive Impact Awards to some groups and individuals who have contributed to the growth of the college.
You can also watch AKBC TV News online by logging onto akbconline.org or follow us on Twitter at AKBC45 or on Facebook at AKBC Channel 45. And now to end the news, the main items again. The state government has acknowledged the services of the just retired Akwa Ibom State Police Commissioner, Mr. Gabriel Achong, to the reduction of crime rate in the state. At the state banquet hosted in his honor, Governor Domi Manuel described Mr. Chong as a fine police officer. And the Nigerian Christian Bible College, Okomabak, has held its 62nd matriculation and convocation ceremonies. That's it on the news. Thanks for watching. Our next news bulletin today is at noon. I am Jeffrey Orok.
Of events, sports, and much more. Keep watching AKBC Channel 45.